Right, squad, good afternoon. It is the day after UK's Strongest Man. I just wanted to jump on quickly and let you know basically what happened at UK's Strongest Man. So for those that haven't seen the results already, I was actually knocked out in the semi-finals. It really didn't go the way I wanted it to go, sadly, this weekend. I know a lot of people out there had me as favourites for the podium. And I've had a lot of messages and a lot of support from loads of people, so it does really mean the world. I just sort of do a little video, let everyone know what happened. Obviously, first of all, I'm not injured. I'm feeling really good for England's Strongest Man still. That's the important things to cover off. But yeah, basically had a really tough heat. As soon as they were drawn, I sort of thought my group was probably the group of death if there was a harder group. And I don't think the events were fantastic for me. There was a lot of variables in the heat events this year. So obviously the deadlift was good for me. There was also bar bending, which was the first event. And there was car roll, which again should have been pretty good for me. But we'll talk you through. So the first event was bar bending. Again, I'd only been able to train this a few times. It's not something easy to train because obviously you have to buy the metal, etc. And it's not you can't just go to the gym and practice bar bending. So I was lucky enough to have Loz come down sort of the week before, and he really helped me out. To be fair, like I was really struggling before Loz came down. I could do 2 of the bars, but it was taking me a long time, and we just sort of tidied everything up together. And yeah, so thanks to Loz for helping me out. Sadly, on the day, everybody cleared 2 bars. I knew I wouldn't get the third. I gave it a good try and moved it a bit, but I budged it in training. So I did 2 bars. I was the slowest out of the 6, so ended up with only 1 point after the first event. I think 3 of the guys in my heat did all 3 bars. Luke was really unlucky. I think he bent it about half an inch too far out and just couldn't get that last bit. So you basically had 4 of the 6 guys. No, I think 4 did. You basically had 5 out of the 6 guys had done 4 bars. Luke just got a bit unlucky, so ended up dropping a few points. But again, I was never gonna do all 3, so I wasn't that mad about it. But it just shows like it's just one of them that I couldn't really control. Going into deadlift, like I'd seen Group A, so I'd already been 3 reps won that group. So I was thinking already like maybe this setup's a bit harder than we thought it would be. I was sort of thinking 6 to 8 in my head. Went to pull the first rep and it just didn't leave the floor. So then I thought, okay, this is not like any 3-2-5 I pulled before. Pulled it again once the slack had been pulled out of the bar, and then I was sort of up and running. Then pulled 3 pretty good reps. Terry made me hold them for a decent while, which, you know, fair enough. It's a wobbly old setup. So pulled 3, went to pull a 4th, and my back was just taking over so much at that point. I couldn't get any leg drive into it at all. Left it at 3. I potentially could have grinded out a 4th, but the injury risk would have been so high. My back was, at that point after that deadlift, my back was so seized. I was working with my coach and the physio. They were sending me messages like doing these stretches just to try and ease my back off. But again, I didn't really tell anyone. I just sort of got on with it. But I was struggling already after that. That didn't go the way I wanted it to. I did all right. I would have tied joint first in Group A, but in this group, they just put all the good deadlifters in one group. So I ended up tying 3rd with 2 other people. Flynn did 4, and Matt Diamond did 5. Fair play to the guys, like that's a hard deadlift. Flynn said he sort of knew it would be harder and he'd like used that setup before. So I think he had just the edge there, like with a bit of experience, knowing how to pull on that setup. But I mean, Matt was just the strongest deadlifter there, to be honest. Like that was the end of that. And that was pretty much Matt through to the final of that stage, which I'll be the first to admit, I didn't think Matt Diamond would do as well as he did. So fair play, Matt. I think you're a legend, but absolutely smoked it. And then car roll, at this point, like I was sort of quite worried about the car. I was really struggling to bend over. So like I really had to just throw myself at the car. And with pretty disappointing results in the first 2 events, I needed at least 3rd in this to put myself in a good position. So it went really well. It was absolutely flying. It felt quite easy, much easier than the one I'd done before, a barbell division. It felt quite nice. Like I again, like it had a few sharp edges and stuff, but it felt all right. Sadly, just didn't give it enough of a push on the final roll, and it came back at me, and that was pretty much it for me then. I I don't regret it because I took a gamble. I just had to push it over and run for that buzzer. Got a bit carried away, didn't give it enough of a shove, and it came back at me. So at that point, that was pretty much it for me then. I would have been right amongst the points on the car roll, and that would have just given me a few more meters in the eliminator. So going into the eliminator, it was me, Luke, and Killian. For those that don't know how the eliminator works, it was a duck walk, over a steeple, back down, and then power stairs at the end. And then the amount of points you had to that point was how far staggered it was. So Killian had a 6 meter advantage ahead of me because he was 6 points ahead, and then I had a 1 meter advantage ahead of Luke. And I thought I had a chance. I got it really bloody close, to be honest. I was absolutely flying on the duck walk. It felt like nothing, and I knew I was catching Killian. Did the power stairs really quick. I genuinely couldn't have done it any quicker. I slipped, dropping it off. I mean, you're throwing 200 kilos down a step, it's proper sketchy. So threw it down, jumped straight on, and the mats were so slippy. I just lost my footing straight away. Didn't really lose me any time, to be honest, because I still had forward momentum. Picked it straight back up and off I went. So it might have cost me half a second, but wouldn't have changed the outcome. Same for everyone, etc., etc. And Killian was just did enough to qualify, basically. Fair play to the lad. Got through to the final, and then obviously it was me and Luke knocked out. So really gutting, to be honest. It wasn't an outcome I'd sort of considered. A lot of people had me in for the top 3 in this comp, and I sort of said to myself, worst case scenario, top 5 is what I was aiming for. So we were disappointed, but there's so much more on this year. This was sort of the comp before England's for me, just to have a run out and see where we're at. I'm still very confident for England's Strongest Man. Much better events for me, a lot more standardized. I know what to expect. So just to run you through the final, for those that haven't seen, you can watch this back on Channel 5. Huge for the sport that this was live, and I do implore everyone to check it out because it looked really good as a TV spectacle. I think everyone was very happy with how it looked. So you had Stephen Jackson, came 8th, fair play, absolute legend, really lovely guy, did so well in the heats as well. To qualify, I don't think many people would have backed Stephen to qualify for the final, not being rude, but it was his first final, he was called up late, so absolutely props to Stephen. I think he's a legend. Killian came 7th, Chris B from 6th. Again, Chris, great friend of mine. Just had a few unlucky mistakes in the final, but I had him in my top 5. So again, I'm sure he was expecting better, but I hope he's happy with it. Matt Diamond 5th, Sean Diver 4th, Andrew Flynn 3rd, Louis Jack 2nd, and Paul Smith 1st. So congratulations, top 3. Well, congratulations for everyone, really. Everyone put an absolute shift in. I cannot tell you how hard that competition is. I was pretty beaten up. I've done 4 events. To then see the guys go through what they had to do with the tire flip, which was crazy heavy, truck pull, all of it. I have a lot of respect for all of them. But yeah, it's a shame because I really like those final events. I think I'd have been right in the mix for them. But again, the way it all played out this time, and it wasn't to be. But still had a great experience. I thought Ultimates overall did a really good job, especially getting Strongman live on national television, international television. It's so good for the sport. It is growing. But yeah, that is basically what happened. Ultimate Strongman 2024. Not the way we wanted it to go, but hugely proud of everything. And yeah, we will be coming back strong for England's Strongest Man in 2 weeks' time. Other than that, guys, thank you for watching. If you made it this far, make sure you check out my merch and my coaching if you're interested in being coached by me. I'm offering online strongman coaching and grip coaching as well. And yeah, make sure you check out the merch. There's loads of cool stuff coming out. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, and we'll catch you in the next one.